Starting his visit over breakfast with Vice President Kamala Harris, President Cyril Ramaphosa voiced gratitude to the U.S. for support on the COVID-19 pandemic. Later, Ramaphosa met with his counterpart. His visit comes just weeks after U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken traveled to South Africa, where he launched his government's new Africa policy.
Really welcome the opportunity to be here so that we can extend those relations and we can get more companies to invest in South Africa to create jobs. And of course, we want to discuss what I would call global stability and security, particularly in relation to our region, where we've had insurgents targeting one of our neighboring countries, Mozambique.
South Africa, the continent's most industrialized nation, is desperate for new investment to revive its COVID-stricken economy. Queen Elizabeth II, smiling at children waving Kenyan flags and the Union Jack or shaking hands with a curious little boy, are all previously unseen images from an enormous archive taken by celebrated photojournalist Mohammed Amin. His son, Salim Amin, now manages his father's enormous private archive in Nairobi, filled with photos which have never gone on public display.
He photographed her at least a dozen times in different countries around East Africa. So he photographed her in Sudan, in Ethiopia with Emperor Haile Selassie, then obviously in Kenya, pretty much anywhere she went on the continent during the sort of from the 50s on up to the 80s, he was present at most of those.
Amin covered all the British monarch's visits to Kenya. Elizabeth II, who died last week at the age of 96, had a close relationship with the country. It is here where she was pronounced queen following her father's death in 1952.
You will never get this close to anyone in the royal family now, to be able to photograph and film them from you know such closeness. It would be a pool feed with her own photographers, possibly just feeding out content. But in many of the photos, you will see the scrum of journalists that was around her, and literally within touching distance of her, and that wouldn't happen now.
In 1992, Amin was honored by the Queen and made a member of the Order of the British Empire. Last year, Google Arts and Culture established an online archive to catalogue his work in collaboration with the Mohammed Amin Foundation. Over 6,000 photos have already been uploaded to the digital archive. On arrival in the capital N'Djamena on Friday, Tom Erdimi was greeted by tens of his happy supporters and family. The 67-year-old had spent nearly 2 years in a jail in Egypt. Erdimi's Union of Resistance Forces is one of the groups taking part in talks on Chad's political future. I would firstly like to thank all the brothers, all the compatriots, all the colleagues who mobilized all over the world through social media, through demonstrations, through speeches, through all possible means, and who more or less facilitated this liberation. Erdimi also called for peace and reconciliation. The talks, initiated by Chad's military government, began on August 20th after repeated delays, and progress has been slow, hampered in part by the absence of key political opponents and rebels. Without peace, without democracy, without a real reconciliation of hearts and minds, there will be no development. Tom and his twin brother Timan are nephews of Chad's late ruler Idriss Deby. Erdimi served as director of Deby's cabinet in the 1990s. He and his brother took up arms against the late ruler in 2005. The Nyege Nyege festival delivering on its promise, days and nights of partying and merrymaking. Party lovers from all over the world have trooped to Uganda to attend the percussion-filled fest with over 300 artists drawn from across the world. The event is back after a 3-year break prompted by the pandemic.
Yeah, Nyege Nyege was started in 2015 in Uganda. We had 5 physical editions here in Jinja. Then we had 2-year hiatus due to COVID. And now we've restarted with a new location, about 5 times the size of the former location. Nyege Nyege is now an institution. you know, in terms of representing African music culture.
Taking place on the banks of the River Nile in eastern Uganda, this year's edition has attracted some 12,000 party-goers. The East African country is also using the event to market its tourism.
It's actually my third time. I always do Nyege Nyege. I like the fun, I like the crowd, I like how it's different. I like how the energy, like if you know, you know.
This is my first time and it's an experience, one of a kind experience. You know, East Africa, and biggest, you know, this is like the biggest event this side. So it's good to see many people from all over the world. You know, music, culture, fun, love.
With a week to go, Uganda's parliament attempted to ban the event after lawmakers accused organizers of promoting immorality. But the members of parliament were overruled by the country's executive. Set in picturesque countrysides, the event has gained both notoriety and fame in the culture and entertainment industry.